On the last day of 2022, I'm sitting down with Frank Maestri of Bighorn, Wyoming, to talk about life, business, and all things hunting.
I'll tell you. So I'm going to tell you the story about why I wanted to do this.
This is cool.
I heard your name when you first moved to town. Actually, the first time I heard your name was
probably a terrible thing.
was the horses at the powder horn.
That's what I mean.
But the Kuyu video you did with Zane.
Oh, Zane Faust, yeah. He's actually like my second brother now. Great human.
I watched that during quarantine, I think, is when I watched that. And I was like, that was the first time where I was like, well, I want to meet Frank Maestri now.
Yeah, nice.
Before that, it was just a name.
Before that, I was just a fuck.
You cuss, I cuss all
Fucking
the
guy
time.
on the goddamn golf course with the horses.
But,
Hey,
but when I watched
that
that.
wasn't my fault, really. The golf course thing.
Oh, it was?
No, it was not.
Oh.
I mean, not really. Did you hear the real story to that?
You had kids from Northern California helping your brand or something?
Like real rural kids, man. And they're like 16 years old, and we snuck the horses in the backyard because they had a rodeo in town and we couldn't put the horses at the fairgrounds. I went and take a shower, and I got out of the shower, and the horses and the kids were gone. They ripped around the whole golf course on damn horses. Greens, everything. Anyway, it doesn't matter.
I played golf the next morning, and we were the first group out, and I called the clubhouse, and I was like, somebody ran shod horses over these greens.
It was bad. They were jumping the fences, everything. It was pretty bad.
It's hard to think about like kids from California never being at the city.
Oh, they live very rurally. They have to take a bridge. They have to take a walking bridge across the creek when it gets up, and live on a generator. They're very, very rural. So they got there, and they're like, they couldn't believe how fast the horses can run across those golf courses. Anyway, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but it was not a good time for me for about a week and a half.
But that video, I was like, So what made you want to do it? He came to an Outdoor Dream thing.
Yeah, we did Outdoor Dreams. We did 1 or 2 hunts every year through the Outdoor Dreams Foundation for kids who are terminally ill. We just went out and killed a management mule deer or something. Something my family loved to do.
Yeah.
Because we're good. We're healthy. My son's healthy. We're just everything's great in our lives. My son's young and kind of getting spoiled, so we always bring an Outdoor Dreams kid out there to reel us all in to reality.
Yeah.
I mean, terminally ill kids. So Zane came out one year deer hunting and had a great time. His dad was actually colonel in the Army. Anyway, great family, and got to talking a little bit. Zane, we fell in love with the family. Zane went home, and about I want to say a month or two later, he's watching something on Kuyu, and there's a picture of a ram I killed or something in the background. No big deal. And Zane called me up and said, "Hey, I didn't know you sheep hunted and stuff." And I go, "Man, yeah, that's my passion." And he goes, and he was super sincere about it, like from the bottom of the heart. He goes, "If I was able to sheep hunt one day, and if I died the next week, I'd die happy."
That's what he said.
Dude, and I like melted on the phone. I said, "Are you serious? This is serious." He goes, I've read about it for years. I look at pictures all the time. This is what I dream about. But he said, it's too far out of my reach. I'll never be able to do it. And I go, "Man, if you do your end of it, I'll do my end of it. We're going to get you on a sheep hunt." So we put it together, completely donated. The hunt was 100% paid for, and gear and guns, and went out and killed a good ram. It was awesome. It was awesome.
It
puts tears in my eyes right now thinking about it, seriously.
Did that hunt change you?
Yes.
Or did it reveal something in you that was already there, you just didn't know?
It made me realize how important hunting is for other people. And it made me realize how the hunt and the experience is more important than actually killing anything.
Yeah.
It was a game changer for me.
Yeah. The interview, like, that's one of the films Kuyu's done that the interviews were really moving in it, like the talking parts compared. there's been other times where the scenery or the
Oh, of
stuff
course.
that's been going on
Yeah,
has
of
been
course.
like, but
Yeah.
that one just hit different. And I don't know if it's because I was bottled up in the house and quarantine was going on, but I've watched it a half a dozen times since. I watched it again today.
Did you really?
I
I haven't watched it for a while. I don't need to. Every time I watch it, I choke up. Seriously.
I do too. I do too.
I mean, it's amazing.
You know the other thing that gets me is when soldiers come home,
Mm-hmm.
like when they video those deals.
Exactly.
I can't watch one of those without getting wrecked. But
Me neither.
your Kuyu hunt was when he killed that
It was very
ram,
special.
and you like told the cameraman to like
I said,
wait.
this is us. This is our turn, not, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and
It,
you
was,
guys
it
were
was flipping. We sat there for probably 20 minutes and just bawled our eyes out. Everybody, the cameraman, everybody. It was pretty special.
yeah.
I said, put it away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was
I'll never forget it.
no.
Zane, he, I can't remember the scientific or medical terms for it, but he can't show emotion. Most of the emotion he has is learned, right? So, anyway, we killed the ram, and he was emotional, and we were all like very emotional, crying, and he was like, and his dad told me, we rode back down off the mountain. His dad met us down off the mountain, and Zane and his dad hugged and kissed, and Zane started crying, and his dad was crying. We were all crying again. And then a few weeks later, Zane's dad called. He goes, I've only seen Zane cry 2 times in his whole life, and that was one of them.
Really?
That's how deep it was for him, for Zane.
Is that something like in the pituitary gland that he's got?
That's something to do
going
with
on?
adrenaline and some hormones, and I'm not exactly sure what all is, but he has a hard time. Like, he has a very hard time showing emotion. In fact, he really doesn't. And you can tell when you're joking and laughing about something. It's almost a trained laugh.
Oh, really?
Yeah, which is fine. James is a great guy, but on that sheep hunt, it was 100% real.
Huh.
And since that hunt, he's done great. His dad says he still works out every day. He was kind of slipping pretty hard before that hunt, and it kind of gave him something to live for.
Yeah.
Now he's doing pretty well.
Have you seen him since?
Oh yeah, I see him often.
Do you?
Yep.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
Good for
he's
you.
a great family. It's one of the best things I've ever done in my life, and probably one of the best things I ever will do.
Well,
Except for raising my son. Hopefully it turns out okay. That's another story, but I'm just kidding. He's doing good. It's a full-time job. Put it that way.
and there's no owner's manual, right?
No, I wish there was.
My 4 girls, they've turned out well in spite of me because I haven't known what I was doing along the way. You know.
You've done a great job with your girls.
What's when did you come to Sheridan?
I want to say it's been 10 years. Roughly 10 years.
Yeah. Where were you on 9/11?
I was branding calves in Nevada.
Really? In the fall?
Yeah, we branded. Oh, was it in the 9/11? We were branding calves. We branded calves almost year round. It was a big desert outfit,
Uh-huh.
and I woke up early in the morning and went outside with my horse and came in the house and watched the news. One airplane hit. Kind of didn't. It was terrible, but we didn't really know what was going on. So I went out and started meeting everybody, and our neighbor comes in late. And he goes, "What are we doing?" I go, "We got to brand calves, man. I mean, we got these cows and we got to get this job done." He goes, "We're like almost in war right now." I go, "What are you talking about?" He's all, "Their airplane hit a building." I go, "Yeah, that was an accident, some drunk pilot or something, or some upset pilot, suicidal, who knows." He goes, "No, a second plane hit in the Pentagon and everything else." I go, "You got to be kidding me." So we sat around and talked for like 20 minutes. I said, "Look, it's happening. Let's get these calves branded, and then let's go see what's going on. But we can't stop anything from happening. Let's just go do it." We were out in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
But we branded our calves. We were done by 1 or 2 in the afternoon, and of course we were glued to the TV for 3 days after that.
Yeah. That was my first day at New York Life.
Was it really?
Yeah. I was moving into my office on the 8th floor of First Interstate Bank building in Billings.
Mm-hmm.
And I walked in and everybody was standing in the lobby watching TV. And I just thought, this is the kind of place that I came to work at. Like, people stand around and watch TV. And I went in, did my thing in my cubicle, and I went back out to bring another load of stuff in.
Mm-hmm.
And they're still in the lobby and crying. I'm like, what is going on?
Exactly.
And I walked over there, and that's, yeah, that was my first day in the insurance business, was 9/11.
I wonder what will happen next. We're getting too soft. Something's coming. I hate being negative, but there's reality too.
Yeah. I was telling the girls when we went to Phoenix 2 weeks ago before Christmas, prior to 9/11, TSA wasn't a thing.
Oh, of course not.
Like, if somebody was coming in on an airplane,
You can go meet them at the gate.
you could go meet them at the gate.
Exactly. 100%.
Yeah.
100% right.
And now it's like, now that it's so normal, like what you have to do, you can't park outside. Can you believe for 21 years we've been able to not park outside an airport on the street
I know.
and leave your vehicle alone?
That's right. It's been
21 years. That's a long freaking time.
wow. That is a long time. I don't like to hear that. I'm turning 50 in March. I don't like to hear that. Do you have a coaster? Do I need a coaster for this?
No, you don't need one. You'll be 50.
I don't like it.
You don't.
I don't like it at all.
Hmm.
I don't like that. I don't like that number.
How come? Halfway to 100?
Yeah, I won't live to be 100, but for some reason the 35, 40 was no big deal. 45 wasn't a big deal, but 50 is like, holy smokes.
Yeah.
Let's get the stuff done we want to do, because maybe 10 or 15 more years of mountain hunting, maybe less. When you can still enjoy it, not go out there and
Yeah.
worry about blowing a knee out or something.
Do you have some hunts that you want to do still?
I'm actually supposed to go on a doll sheep hunting this fall with Ultima Thule, but I have to call them shortly because they've had a lot of snow and there might be some die-offs. So I'm not sure if they want to postpone or what, but
Oh.
that's really it.
Yeah.
Nothing really planned. Gonna go kill muskox.
Oh, you are?
Yeah, I think spring of next year, or spring of 24.
Wow.
I want to do that before you can't.
Yeah.
I have a feeling they're gonna outlaw that one of these days. Maybe not, but
Huh. Do you have to draw that tag?
mm-mm. No, you can go up there and get them.
Oh, you can?
Yeah.
Huh.
It'll be fun.
Do you have have you checked everything off your bucket list?
I want to kill a leopard.
Yeah.
To me, a leopard is like a badass animal.
100%.
You know what I mean?
Have you seen the first couple episodes of 1923 yet? It's the spin-off of one of the
No, I
Yellowstone
have
deals.
not watched that yet.
Well, there's a deal in there where a mating pair of leopards kills a couple people and takes them up in trees, and then this guy kills them. And yeah, leopards are totally badass.
Leopards are awesome. And then day when you can't bring them back in the United States. So I want to try to do that in the next 3 or 4 years.
They're one of the big five, aren't they?
Yes.
Them and
I don't really care about the big five, but I just want to go kill a leopard.
and they're
For
it's
a
a
good one.
trophy, right?
For a good one, I think it's tough. I mean, I think you can still kill one, but to get
Yeah.
a good big male, it takes some effort.
Yeah, at night.
I think there's some places you can hunt in the daytime, but mostly at night.
Yeah,
I think.
yeah. That's
I'm
what
in the early stages of doing the research, but I want to go get a good one. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I'd
They're
rather
like badass.
Oh, I'd rather kill a leopard than a lion.
Me too, 100%. Mm-hmm.
I was reading something somewhere where it said like for every second a leopard is on you is 1,000 stitches.
I believe I've read a bunch of old books from the old days, and those professional hunters, when they had to go in to go find a wounded leopard, they'd have like linoleum suits, like legit linoleum, like linoleum and football helmets, because those leopards just grab on your shoulder and just gut you.
Right.
So they have linoleum all down the legs and
Really?
before
Kevlar.
timers. Before Kevlar, yeah. I just don't need that in my life. I'm gonna pound it, now I'm gonna say, okay, boys. You know what I mean?
Oh God.
I don't need 1,000 stitches a second in my life.
No, because a second's not very long.
Before you know it, you're bleeding to death.
Yeah. But we have screwed up a lot of things, like having coffee, having cigars, because everything we do in a hurry. And like, if you go to Europe and you sit down to have coffee,
People take their time.
it's expected to be a couple-hour deal because
Exactly.
you're supposed to just be present and all that.
People take their time.
And
They live longer and they're happier people.
yeah, not in as much of a hurry. And That's what cigars have helped me with the last couple of years. Is like you can't if you're gonna have a cigar, you got to do it slow, or else you get sick. Or you're like, well, what's the point of that?
Or
Like,
you don't smoke cigars, you get sick anyway.
But I can't smoke a cigar without taking about 50 slow, deep breaths, and that's like kind of meditation for me.
That is true. I like it.
Like, I got cigars out at the end of a bird hunt one day, and one of the kids goes, why are you having a cigar now? I said, because if you have a cigar with your friends, that's the only thing you're doing. You just stop, and that's what you do when you talk. Nobody's putting their stuff away. Like,
And
it's just,
visit,
everybody
yeah.
just kind of stays in that moment. And
That's true.
I've just tried to have more of those in the last 2 years, because it's like,
Good for you.
up until COVID, everybody was just like, on to the next thing, on to the next thing, on to the next thing. And
That's true.
thank God my wife lets me smoke down here, because there's days it's too damn cold to go outside.
This is perfect. I'd rather smoke down here than outside anyway.
Yeah.
This is like your space. You know what I mean?
Yep. Yep.
Smoke outside in the back porch, somebody's gonna come say, Dad, I need something.
Mm-hmm.